live. I got 3 faces. Well, 4 faces. All right. All right. Cool. Nobody seems to be exploding. Good. Love that. All right. So welcome back, you two. We're back to the Sharid and Teo show.
The Sharid and Teo. I
I
like it.
mean, it was a bit of a spectacle the last time you guys were here.
It was.
If I remember correctly, Sharid, you had your first fight in the mall against the two-headed giant known as the Marcelar brothers. Each head had its own mind, personality, so on and so forth. And you fought it to the point that he knelt and he was giving up the fight until a stray rock from Tio decided to knock him out cold. Much to the cheers of the rest of the mall, so good on you. Afterwards, you left the locker room and you met up with Garth, who congratulated you on your first match. So he invited you and Tio out to some drinks at the local bar known as the Rat's Den. And amongst all the rest of that, you received a missive, which you read and took care of. Um, and while you were there, you enjoyed some drinks, enjoyed a little bit of food, and Tio, the sound of cards and dice caught your eye, or rather caught your ear, and your attention was drawn to a back room closed off by a curtain. And I believe, Tio, you opened that curtain to see a simple table,
Yeah.
2 men, one head down, looking defeated, and the other is, I'm not going to say a well dressed man, but lined in furs that have seen better days, but also not the worst looking guy around. It be Bongo and come on, there we go. This guy.
Damn. Okay.
So we'll come back into the scene where Tio, you open that curtain. So at this point, this gentleman looks at you, turns his attention to you, and you see him kind of twirling some dice between his fingers, and you see a deck of cards on the table. And he says, "Can I help you?"
Uh, I hear there are games back here.
Well, you certainly could tell that. Just ask my friend here. He's played a few games of his own. You look over at the guy whose head is on the table, and you can just about hear him quietly weeping to himself.
Oh, looks like he won.
That'd be the gist of it. You
I'd
find
hate
yourself
to, hate
you
to see
find
what it's
yourself
like to lose.
Yeah. Yeah. Would you like to find out? He
Let me
kind of
see
just
how
gives you
little money I.
a nice smile.
Wait, how did I get money? Someone must have given me money.
I believe you challenged Garth and Sharid to a drinking contest,
That's
of which you
right.
had zero chance of winning, but won anyway.
I thought it was arm wrestling.
We
Was it
did
arm
some
wrestling?
arm
Oh, it
wrestling.
Yeah, it
was
was
arm
arm
wrestling.
wrestling.
Yeah, that's right.
All
That's
right.
right.
Well, you know what? Tio's got a problem. He'll take out one of his 3 gold pieces.
Oh my god.
What can we do with this?
What can we do with a drunken sailor?
What can we do with the drunken sailor?
He'll look at that piece of gold. You notice that most of the money that's on the table is copper, some silver, maybe 1 or 2 pieces of gold. He looks at you and says, "Certainly enough to play." He
Oh,
turns to the guy whose head is on the table and he kind of shoos him off and be like, "Don't worry, mate, I'll be in touch." And the man just kind of like very slowly comes up to his feet and just kind of like slogs himself away.
Are you okay? You gonna be all right there?
He looks up at you, his eyes red, puffy.
Do you want a hard candy?
He just looks at the he looks at you and just shakes his head and just walks past.
Oh.
You want a Werther's?
You want a word?
Caramel?
A little caramel?
So you
What
said
kind
that's.
of games here?
He says, well, depends on what you want to play for. He says, draw that curtain behind you. I don't want too many prying eyes might want to steal this pot.
Awkwardly lean back through the chair. Some spatulas poking through the chair. Move the curtain back. Like, okay, there we go.
Okay. So Sharid, you see Teo kind of lean back on I'll take a Werther sponsorship, sure. Teo, you see nope, Sharid, you see Teo lean back in his chair and just draw that curtain closed. Damn it, Keith. Late, how dare you? So the man looks in front of you and says, so I give you a choice, friend. Life's all about choices. We could play for money, or we could play for things that are a little bit more valuable.
What do you value more than money?
Well, me, I value, we'll just say favors.
Oh.
A little social capital, if you will.
Oh. Is this flirting?
Give me an insight check.
Okay.
Please, God. It might be flirting.
Oh.
I don't know.
Is this why you told... Are we alone in the room right now?
Yeah, you're alone. You're 100% alone in this room.
Teo, just look around. Oh, this is why we're alone in the room. Okay, so what kind of favors?
He looks at you a little cockeyed. He's like, favors as in, well, just because this is how my brain spat out. You know, a little quid pro quo. We play a game. You win. You get a favor of me. I win. I get a favor of you.
Okay, sure. Why not?
All
What's
right.
the game?
He takes out a deck of cards, lays them on the table. He says, we each draw 2 cards. High count wins. It would help if I had my own rules up. Yeah, high count wins. You have a chance to replace your cards once per hand.
Okay.
All right. So you draw your cards. You look at them. You want to draw them again? You can. Simple as that, and it's best of 5.
Best of 5. Okay.
Yeah, I can't have it be over too quickly now.
Sure. What are the stakes?
Well, to that friend, I ask you, what do you want most out of life?
Well, we came here to look for a person whose name I definitely remember. If you know any information about
Hothus.
Hothus,
The cricket on your shoulder says. He said he kind of ponders to himself, his hand kind of running through his goatee a little bit.
and if not Hothus, then a way to get us out of town very easily.
All right.
Actually, is it hard to get out of this town?
You haven't tried. You don't know.
I guess not, yeah.
He looks at you and says, I think I can arrange that.
Okay. Okay. And in trade?
We'll decide that if you lose.
Oh, usually in these games you gamble the stakes from the onset. No,
Maybe.
maybe.
Just know that I win, you will owe me a favor.
I see.
And he holds
And
out his hand. All you gotta do is say yes, friend.
well,
And win, of course.
you say life is about choices, but I have the sneaking suspicion that's creeping in my mind that there isn't really a choice. Well, but I'm very curious. You'll shake his hand, sure.
As he's shaking your hand, he says, "You ever hear the proverb about curiosity and a cat?"
It didn't die, an ignorant bastard.
Fair enough. And as you're shaking his hand, you feel a slight burning in your palm.
Oh, it feels like I'm cooking. Is this
You
a?
smell, it smells a little bit like bacon.
Ah, are you okay?
Oh, yeah, friend. Just gotta make sure you don't renege on our deal.
It was. You left it pretty ambiguous.
Eh,
You look at
yeah,
his hand.
can't have you running off after a couple of hands, can I? Don't worry, it's temporary.
What is it in the shape of?
It That's a good point. That's a good question. It actually looks like two arched rows reflected on each other. So one going this way and this way. They look almost like bite marks, but like needle thin.
Do you have these marks on several people?
Well, like I said, it's temporary. We finish our game, mark goes away.
I see you take this very seriously. All right, let's see your game.
All right. Name's Surtur, by the way.
Did you say Cerber?
Surtur.
Surtur. All right.
All right.
How do we begin?
So here's what we're gonna do, from a mechanical standpoint. Um, let's see if I didn't fuck this up. So you're gonna be asked for a roll. It's gonna stay private, assuming I did everything correctly. Those will be the cards that you drew.
Oh, okay.
If you want to refresh those cards, all you gotta do is tell me. I'll send you another roll.
Is it? Did I?
No.
Was I supposed to click that?
Yeah. So it
Okay.
didn't do it private, huh?
No.
Everything's awful. All right. So do this. The drop down above chat. Set that to private roll or self roll rather.
What? Above chat. Oh, that. Gotcha. Okay.
So then just do /R space 2d12. So essentially, this roll is the combination of your cards, the numerical combination.
Okay.
So if you want to re-roll that, you can once.
Nope.
All right. So I will do the same. Okay. I'm choosing to stay with my hand. So on the count of 3, you can right-click your roll and say "Make it public" or "Reveal to everyone."
Gotcha. Okay.
1, 2, 3. So as you flip over the cards, yours come to a sum of 18. Mine come to a sum of 21.
Oh no. That's one.
That's one win for me, friend. All right. Hand 2, he picks up the cards, shuffles them back together, and plops them down in the center of the table between you two. Whenever you're ready.
And how many times can you re-roll?
Once per hand.
Well, I'm gonna re-roll.
All right. He ponders to himself of whether he will or not. I think I'll keep my hand. Thank you.
Yeah, you won.
So on the count of three, go ahead and reveal. 1, 2, and 3. Oof. So mine came to a total of 12, and yours a total of 4.
Mm-hmm.
Luck is not your friend, really, is it?
No.
All right. All right. Let's see if I get a 3-piece here. Roll when you're ready.
All right. Yeah, I'm gonna re-roll that.
I will as well.
Okay. This is gonna be a fast game.
Don't be too sure. Reveal on a count of 3. 1, 2, and 3.
Huh.
You reveal a total of 4. I reveal a total of 2. So we're at a 2-1 stand.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead and roll.
All right. What? No, I'm re-rolling that then.
I will certainly keep mine.
Okay, well.
All right. Ready? 1, 2, and 3. You reveal a total of 12. I reveal a total of 20.
Yes.
And so you feel the mark on your hand start to burn a little bit. And he says, well, maybe on a different day you would have been luckier.
I don't think so, but
He looks at you and says, well, as per our agreement, you will owe me a favor. But you see his eyes start to shift in color a little bit, glowing an ominous yellow-orange.
I don't think you ate something wrong for you.
And instead of these words being spoken verbally, you hear them in your mind. You'll receive what this favor is when the time comes. And if I were you, I would suggest following through.
Non-consensual telepathy. I don't like it.
Oh, it can't be that bad. I'm sure you've had worse voices in your head. For some people, it's their own.
It's true.
And so his eyes turn back into the normal brown that they were when you sat at the table. And he just leans back in the chair and says, well, friend, better luck next time. Unless, of course,
Doesn't exist.
you want to play double or nothing.
How could it be doubled when I don't even know what it really was?
Oh, don't worry. You win. How about this? We draw one more hand. You win. I'll tell you about this Hothus character you're looking for. Just as a little thank you for entertaining me. You lose. Don't worry, you already owe me a favor.
Oh, I never actually gambled this gold, so he'll take that gold back, actually.
Fair enough. He kind of like snaps his fingers like, thought you wouldn't notice that you left it there. What do you say? One more hand?
Sir, I have no reason to trust you. I just am an actor of whim in this situation, so I am already in debt to you to an unknown degree. So to invest further might be only problematic and detrimental to the people that I am entrusted by. So I think I will bid you adieu, as they say.
Fair enough.
Until you speak to me again in my mind.
Uh, I'm sure we'll see each other again pretty soon. Do enjoy your times.
Your courting is bizarre to me, but okay. And get up awkwardly and leave. Go back to join the rest.
So, Sharid, while Tio is in here gambling, you and Garth are sitting there. Actually, Garth went up to, I think, go get more drinks. So you're alone at the table. What would you like to do? Uh, I didn't hear you, bud. You mute?
Yes, I know. I realize that now.
Okay.
Sharid is just going to just wait for God to return. He has no other things that he wishes to do at the moment.
Okay. So after a couple minutes, Garth will come back with another round of drinks. Set one down in front of you, set one down in front of him, and set one down where Tio was sitting. And he says, "You know, for a place that hates magic, we certainly get some interesting fighters in these walls. There's a. I think actually I've heard of the person you're supposed to go up against tomorrow.
Oh, how did you know that?
Just ran into him in our locker room in the preparatory area. Some traveling warrior calls himself Udo.
Udo.
In fact, he reminds me a little bit of you.
How so?
One of them. Now I'm stuck in this voice.
It's okay. I got it.
One of the them. What do you call them? Barbarians. One of them types. You two, in fact, even share a fighting style, spear and shield.
Interesting. Tell me, have you seen him fight before?
Me? No, no. I haven't had the pleasure. In fact, he followed one of my fights, but I left the arena shortly after to make sure Roland didn't get himself in too much trouble. Um, but doesn't really wear armor that much. The weird thing is this headpiece he wears. Seems to be made out of some kind of animal carcass. Looks like possibly it's a weird combination between a leopard and snakes.
That is strange, my friend.
Yeah. Um, Give me a nature check. At disadvantage considering your background. Yeah, you don't know. So you're just hearing leopard and snakes.
Well, I thank you for telling me any information that you have. Should be of use.
Yeah.
I'm curious. Tell me, how fared you in the Rollins match?
Well, we were lucky enough to get in an early match before our first official one. They had somebody bail out of one of their matches for some reason. And we stepped in. Between that match and the one that we fought today, 2 wins. Seems not many people can contend with a copper dragon.
Yes, I must say this is quite fascinating. Your brother. I must know. Like, why are you here again?
Well, we're looking for sport. You see, our father, sire, I don't know what to call the guy. Gets around a lot. Hence, people like me. So wasn't exactly home. So as we grew up, Roland and I, part of the same brood, we decided to shove out, look for some adventure. We heard about the mall here and thought it'd be a good exercise.
Fascinating, my friend. Fascinating. So, how do you know how many siblings you have?
God, no. No, no, no. Just in my brood alone, there was probably 6 of us. Can't say all of them survived. There were probably about 4 of us roaming around just from my brood alone. But like I said, the guy got around, so
Very, very interesting. Uh, well, to your victory and to mine.
all
So,
right.
yeah.
He'll return your toast and just guzzle down the drink.
I wonder how my fair friend fares back there. I must say, he's not the best when it comes to managing his coin. But I will. I must say, I was completely surprised he was able to best us. And it is our competition of strength. I,
Yeah.
I, I am shocked.
Garth will look at you and say, "Yeah, I guess given the right motivation, anyone can come out on top."
I guess so.
So it's not long after that that the curtains draw open again, and you see Tio come out. Maybe a glancing look at his hand, just kind of shakes it away. Tio, that mark on your palm remains. It's duller than it was, but now there's just an underlying heat coming from that mark. Just a
Yep.
constant reminder of the debt you owe now.
Approach the table. Hey, Cherie, have you
Yes,
ever heard of a hickey?
Hickey.
Yeah, I
Yeah, I know of
heard.
him.
I think the guy behind the curtain gave me a hickey. He'll show his hand.
Don't understand.
Yeah,
A
kind of.
hickey. Hickey is a. I thought it was a person.
No, it's like a human courtship thing. Like marking your territory.
Oh,
Yeah,
so he's tribal.
I suppose so.
Okay. So are you part of his tribe?
I don't know. Maybe he just shows his hand with the mark on it.
I guess you should find out now.
Well, he said we'll have to like meet sometime. I don't know what that means quite yet, but
Oh,
he said he'll follow up with me later on.
so it was you were successful.
It depends on how you want to view it, I guess. We played a game and I definitely lost, but then again, he wants to meet with me again, so there's that.
Just means you're the bottom now.
Power bottom. So I guess there's this. I didn't lose any money,
Oh, that's good. That's good.
but I
Yeah,
might have
as
a
I
dip.
look to Garth, like it's good, good. All right, my friend. Well, we have a drink here. Let's celebrate.
Yeah, I think I could use that.
As I just like the hickeys.
Two hickeys. We'll go for the drink.
Um, I mean, yeah, you guys down another drink or so. It's still early afternoon, and maybe after an hour or so, the bar starts to die down a little bit, and uh, you guys have gone through your fair shares of drink. What would you like to do?
So Garth, what do you do for fun?
I mean, fun for me is a little exercise, if you know what I mean. But I haven't exactly found any of that here in the city.
Murder.
Yes.
What? No?
He leans over to Sharid. Your friend's not all there, is he?
I thought you guys liked the arena or something. No? No. We'll just take mental notes.
So, yeah. Well, I wish you good fortune in the future on that endeavor there, Goth. Life's too short to be alone.
True. There. Absolutely true. He'll kind of like slam his hand lightly on the table as he gets up and says, "Well, I think I've spent enough time. I should go get my brother. He had a bit of a day job rounding up some rats for an old lady. Got to make sure he didn't eat the cat too." So,
Did you say day job rounding rats?
yeah.
Oh.
What, you think they're going to have a dragon working in the mines?
Teo will just tilt his head in absolute confusion. What?
Yeah.
What is mined in the mines?
Uh, just a bunch of iron ore, as far as I know.
Oh. We'll just hide in the drink.
Cute. You okay?
I don't know, I'm still shook from earlier.
Is this part of because of the hickey?
I think so. I tried to get us information and I'm sorry, I haven't talked about it for a few hours now, I know, but
Oh,
it's just been on my mind.
you're having feelings. Okay.
I don't know. Mostly confusion.
That's a feeling.
Well, so okay. Well, Garth, my friend, thank you so much, and good fortune to you
Yes, Scar.
until we see each other again.
I'm sure we will. You two take care. And he walks out the door of the rat's den.
But what the fuck do we do now?
People shepherd rats? uh, maybe we should go. Should we go back to our house we were staying at with that Lars?
Sounds good to me.
Check on Lars.
Sure. I don't. There's nothing else I have to do tonight.
Okay.
Head back to Lars, I guess.
Yeah. So you all start making your way through the streets of the Warren. I won't say the same way you got here, but these streets are starting to become a little familiar to you, having spent a few days here. You see people kind of hanging out outside amongst the streets, chatting with one another. Just like with everybody else that you've seen here in this district, clothes dirty, torn, otherwise not well kept. And it's probably about a 20-ish minute walk back to Lars's place. Both of you roll me a d20.
Is it okay if I see it?
Yeah, you can. That's fine. Nice.
Rolls.
So you guys get maybe a block, half a block away from Lars's house, and you hear a sound coming from one of the upper districts, and it's the sound of a horn or a war horn, just resounding through the district and down into the Warrens.
So we'll just watch everybody nearby because he doesn't know if that's normal or not.
Yeah, Sharid does the same.
Could be like a clock sound for all he knows.
Yeah, yeah. No.
Is everybody else around us doing?
You notice that everyone will point their heads up and up to the in the direction of the cliff face, going up to the upper district, and you see a number of them just kind of start chit chatting amongst themselves a little bit more fervently.
Teo will eavesdrop. You don't have to role play it out, but he's just
Oh
curious
yeah,
to hear what people are like guessing
yeah,
what's going on.
yeah. So you eavesdrop between kind of a middle-aged man and his wife, uh, and the man will just make an offhand comment. Guess the guards are chasing somebody else today.
So that's a it's like a security alarm.
What is security alarm?
Like a guard alarm. Uh,
It sounds like it's coming from another level. From oh my
It's
God.
coming from from the eastern direction of town.
Okay, so the are we in the Warrens or the lower?
You guys are in the Warrens.
Stratum? Is the sound coming from the Warrens though?
No, it sounds like it's coming from at least the lower stratum.
Okay. I mean, I'm curious as to what's going on. I'd love to go check it out. I don't know. By the time we get there, it may all be over.
it's still like early evening, correct?
It's starting to get there, yeah.
I mean, I'm down to go check it out. You might as well. I don't think I've even used spell slots. Oh, I think I have used one.
I think you used one. Because I
Yeah.
think you hunters marked the giant to whale him in the head with a stone.
Yeah.
Sure, my friend.
Sure.
I'm up for it. I guess we have to head the opposite direction to catch the cable car. So let's walk away from the sound.
Yeah, so you guys essentially redirect yourselves to head back towards the cable car station in the Warrens,
Who knows? We might
way on the
discover.
far west end of the city.
Who knows? We might discover some useful piece of information we're looking for. Sometimes these things happen for a reason.
Yeah.
It's not like somebody just like says these things just happen. Like
Yeah. Yeah, it's weird. The fates are weird, man.
yeah.
So you ultimately come to the cable car station. It's getting to like early evening. You can see that a number of people are disembarking from a car that just arrived. You walk up to the counter. Doesn't look like too many people are leaving necessarily. You figure that anybody that's coming into the Warrens is probably just going to the mall to look at a fight or returning from work. And seems to be a younger woman working in the window, and she just has just a stoic look on her face. Just holds out her hand.
I'll give her a high five.
She just shakes your hand, shakes her hand. Papers. Give me your papers.
Give her the papers.
I was really hoping you were gonna say, "I hold her hand."
Is this you okay?
Yeah. Oh, yes, of course. And the papers.
Thanks. She looks your papers over, and not seeing any issues, hands them back to each of you, and points to the left where the cable car that had just come in a few minutes earlier is stationed. And she says, "Enjoy your ride." As she
I'm
moves
sorry.
on to the next person.
Before we go, we are just curious. We are new to town. What was that siren for?
Oh, yeah. Typically, that happens when somebody's running from the guards for one reason or another. You see, the guards around here. Well, this area doesn't have foxes, but this is the closest thing they're going to get to a fox hunt.
Aha.
So probably don't be surprised if you hop off the cable car and see a bunch of guards shuffling around the lower stratum.
Thank you very much. Let's go for a ride.
All right. Hop on the gondola.
All right, so you make the ride that you've already made 2, 3, 4 times at this point. And another 20 minutes later.
I'm so sorry. I have to step away for a second.
How dare you? Everyone just looked disapprovingly. Just looked disapprovingly. Well, that's actually not a bad time for me to give my little DM in training to someone else.
Sure.
So we'll be
okay.
right back.
Sounds.
bongo. Okay. So while we wait for Sharid to come back, Tio, you're on this cable car with a pretty significant group of people. Like it's full. It's not quite standing room, but it's full.
Okay.
A lot of conversations going on. You look out the window or the opening in the side of the cable car,
Hmm.
and you just see the Warrens slowly drifting by, slowly moving. And as you get about, I don't know, three-quarters of the way out, you can start to see the lower stratum a little bit. You're still below it, but you're seeing some of the buildings start to peak up. Um, and you actually hear a second horn coming from the very far end of this district. You don't think it's coming up from the mantle, the third one up.
Okay.
Um, and you see a bunch of kids kind of leaning over to the edge of the car, trying to see what might be causing the horn or what the guards might be chasing. You still can't see too many people, but as you look down into the Warrens, you can make out figures, essentially ant size. Um, but you notice a small swarm of them start to move towards the cable car station that you left from not long ago.
Dang it.
Um,
The
so as you
horn
see,
sound, is it
yeah,
coming from the more northern or southern part of the lower stratum?
it's coming from the far eastern part
Far
of the lower
eastern.
stratum. So
Gotcha.
if you when you get off of the cable car, if you just look straight ahead, it's coming from way beyond all the buildings to that end of the
Gotcha.
wall.
Okay.
Um, so so after a few more minutes, the cable car is close to docking back at the station on the lower stratum, and you can start to make out the street level a little bit. Um, and you see that there are a fair number of guards running about. They seem to be fanning out into the alleyways of the building blocks of the lower stratum. Um, and it takes you maybe another 5 minutes or so before the cable car comes to a complete stop.
Okay. At the parking area, are there guards nearby there that I could approach?
So, in your experience, usually when you get off of the cable car, there are some guards posted.
Mm-hmm.
Um, there might be one or two, but not nearly as many as you've seen in in the past.
Okay. We'll just casually approach one. Excuse me, sir.
What do you want?
I have two questions for you. Is
Hmm.
everything safe? What's going on right now?
It's all safe. Don't worry. Just some knuckleheads running from the guards.
What do they look like?
Why should I tell you?
Oh, I'm just curious if I can help. I'm a good tracker and I'm a keen observer.
Give me a persuasion check.
All right.
Alright. He looks at you, looks you up and down, sees you covered in pots and pans,
Mm-hmm.
and just shakes his head, says, "Piss off."
Oh, well, can you tell me if this looks familiar to you? And I'll just openly show the mark on his hand.
He looks at you, looks at your hand. You see him kind of put his own hand in his pocket a little bit. Said, "No, never seen it. Get out of here. Move.
Huh.
Get out of here."
He'll back away slowly.
So we'll
I
say,
suppose.
go ahead.
Well, yeah, I suppose the next thing you would do then is just listen to the movements and sounds of guards to try and track where they're heading to.
Okay. Give me a survival check. 60 is not bad. As I mentioned before, you previously saw guards kind of fanning into the alleyways, along with a number of those automatons that you've seen about town as well. Typically, any given patrol has a humanoid guard or one or two humanoid guards with one of those automatons. So you're seeing a fair amount of people just start kind of converging. But you do see that they are heading east of where you are. So towards where the sound of the war horn came from,
Right.
maybe a little south of that.
Okay. Feels kind of in the direction of the gate. I would presume that Sharid and I could head off in that direction.
Oh, yeah. You absolutely could. And as you do, you can see that as you head through a couple of alleyways, there are still vagrants here from time to time amongst these alleyways, not nearly as many as in the Warrens. But every so often you'll see a guard kind of run past you in an alleyway, look back, glare at you, kind of examine you up and down, and move along. And if they see a vagrant in the kind of sitting out about in the alleyway, will kind of roughhouse them up, examine them, and then just kind of toss them back to where they were as they continue searching for whomever they're searching for.
Would I, in any of these cases, am I in like earshot of them?
Maybe what? Give me a perception check.
I'm just like mostly wondering if I yell something at them, if they'll hear it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can't tell what they're saying, but you think that if you yell loud enough, they can certainly hear you.
Okay. Teo will yell, "Is it time to beat up the poor?"
Most guards actually ignore you, so maybe you see a group of 3 or 4 of them. One turns around and says,
Yeah? Teo will... Oh, okay.
and he just keeps running with the rest of them.
Teo will presumably get a reaction from his company in hand, but will try and just assure, "I'm just trying to assess if it's normal that guards beat up the poor here, that's all."
I guess give me an insight check.
Oh, okay.
You don't think it's normal. You do not think it's normal. Not
Well,
quite
okay.
problematic, but it's not normal.
Seems more like they're looking for someone who fits the description. Vague description, most likely fitting these people's. If I were one of them, I might head towards the exit, but I don't think they would have much of a chance. If the guards are being eluded, they could have any sort of disguise. Not sure whether or not to help pursue wherever this person is that we know less of than anyone, or to just leave. I think Teo would try his luck a little bit and just kind of wander into the eastern direction, just trying to make a guess as to basically using the sounds and movements of the guards and where they haven't gone as a gauge of where to go, if that makes any sense.
Okay, so you actually want to fill in the gaps of their search, kind of.
Yeah.
Okay. Right. All right. So just give me a flat d20. Hey, not bad. Um, so you're able to, with your previous survival roll and this, you can tell where a lot of the guards are going. Maybe some of the dirt and dust on these stone streets have been disturbed much more recently and much more erratically than normal. Um, but you find an alley that has not been traversed yet.
Okay.
Um, do you want to go down that alley?
Yeah. If he finds something uncovered or not touched, he'll be
Okay.
curious to look through.
All right. So you wanted to down this alleyway, heading generally in the eastern direction, and you.
Teo's just curious. Is it nighttime?
Not quite. You can tell the sun's going to set very soon. It's
Are,
maybe 30 minutes before the sun peaks below the wall.
are there any celestial bodies visible?
Not quite yet.
Okay.
No. The alleyway that you're in is mostly empty. You do, however, spot something on the ground.
I'll approach this indiscernible object.
It seems to be a shred of cloth. Very thin, very light. Seems like it could be some kind of accessory, maybe just a piece of a facial covering, anything like that.
We'll
But
do
the
that.
color. Go ahead.
Just doing that LA noir pick up thing.
You've seen this kind of fabric before. One of your compatriots wears fabric similar to it.
Yeah.
It seems to
Does
be
it-
very similar to the type of fabric Vivian wears.
Yeah. Like, is it enough that I'm pretty confident it's the same one, or is it a common
No.
fabric?
Whether it's common or not, I'll say it's common enough where you're not sure if Vivian's the only person in town to have that fabric.
Okay. Enough of a lead. It was in the middle of the alleyway?
Yes.
Does it look torn?
It looks like it was It looks like it's a small piece. It's not like a full rip of fabric, but it was torn from wherever it's from. Looks like it may have just been torn running by one of the down the alleyway. Maybe it caught on something.
So they're running very fast. Can I... This is... I'll really test the tracking here. Check any tracks in this area for, any sort of touching on, like, fingerprints on dirt, track footprints on the ground, just to see if there's how many people, first of all.
Okay. Give me another survival check.
Sure. That's pretty average.
It's hard to get a gauge of exactly how many people, but the thing that stands out to you is amongst all the no, yeah. Amongst all of the normal footprints seems to be a smaller pair of footprints.
Huh. And they look humanoid?
Yeah, it looks like shoes. Yeah.
Okay, shoes. Smaller footprints. So, Teo's just mentally mapping out, guessing that there's about 2 to 3 people with a small set of footprints. And can I kind of gauge a general direction that they might be heading in?
It's hard to tell because there are footprints coming from both sides.
Right, both sides.
Yeah,
In an alleyway. But from like the ends of the alleyway or the buildings?
from the ends. Yeah.
Okay. From both sides of the alleyway. So they met here. There was an encounter here. Can I climb these buildings? Do they look climbable?
Yeah, yeah. They're pretty standard fare for buildings, like plaster covered stone, some wood. Nothing too terrible.
Anything that looks climbable with one arm, like a ladder,
Mm,
or would it take a skilled climb? Oh wait, it doesn't matter. Teo just remembers that Vivian can spider climb, so he will just climb one of the buildings nearby just to take a look up top.
okay. You don't see anything specifically on the rooftop. Wow. You know the flat D20.
Sure.
Okay. Well, a lot better than you did when you were gambling.
Yeah, really.
As you climb to the top of this roof, you can see, just because it's clear airspace, a few blocks over seems to be a humanoid figure, kind of scanning and peering down into the streets below. And as you look around more, you notice that there are few, but there's probably about 2 or 3 of them.
Do they look like the guards?
It's hard to tell from the distance. You can only tell like general movements and like there is a humanoid silhouette.
Humanoid silhouette, basically doing the same thing I'm doing.
Yeah.
So someone else is taking advantage of the height to look around. Two groups of people potentially met in this alleyway. There was an encounter. Doesn't look too... You'll go back down to the alleyway. There's no blood or anything around in the area, right?
No.
Or like debris of like spell components.
It doesn't look like there is a full-on brawl. No. Looks like maybe a tussle and then footprints leading away in either direction.
Maybe it was an amicable... Maybe they met a resolution. Something came to an end. Just to do a double check, there's no like hidden... There's nothing on the ground or the nearby buildings of doors or anything, right?
I mean, there are doors to residences.
Right.
But if you want to see if there's anything like hidden here, give me an investigation check.
Yeah, you'll do a quick check. Although I somehow don't think that will turn up. Oh God, that will not turn up any.
It sure didn't.
All right. Huh. Matt, short tussle. Maybe there was a confused identity. Seems like something violent at first, and then came to an understanding of some sort, but then went off in separate directions. Well, there could have been a trade. Teo will just be talking to himself in like detective style.
You're just in here pondering. It's like, what could have happened here?
I'm gonna get even more detailed with these footprints. Could I see if any of the tracking did a U-turn? Or if they went in the same direction?
Sure. If my memory serves, because of the concentration of footprints and the erratic nature of them, give me one more survivor check, but at disadvantage.
Oh, I think that's shift, right?
Control.
Control.
Yeah. Um, you can tell that the footprints led in different directions. You can't tell which footprints went where,
Okay.
except for the small pair of footprints.
Well, Sharid, we're in this alleyway investigating this encounter here that we tracked. And the footprints that we have here definitely seem to indicate Vivian, in the company of someone small, met with another party, but I'm not sure what direction they may have gone in. Maybe you can make something of this fabric that was definitely Vivian's mask.
Great.
Was that a subtle catch up?
That was fantastic. I apologize again. Personal
Good.
matter. Had to step away.
Yeah.
Yeah, the fabric. I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah. So Teo hands
can
you
I
this.
can I
This.
confirm that it is from her?
You haven't seen too many people with this kind of fabric around. It's not out of the realm of possibility that others would use it, but it does remind you of Vivian.
Okay. Well, seeing that as a piece of evidence, maybe.
I checked the rooftops and it looks like other people are searching the area from the rooftops. So whoever was here, I don't think they went up.
With a perhaps knowing that there's, who might be involved. Perhaps it's best if we don't get involved.
I feel like because it potentially are party members, we might already be by association.
Right. That's yes. So maybe it's
Exactly
time
that.
to GTFO, as they say.
Well, we're not at. Oh, I did confirm with the guards that they are looking for people who look poor to beat them up. So I don't think we have to worry right now.
Mm, I
Do
don't
we
know.
look? Do we look poor? Like by comparison to the civilians?
Teo, as I put my arm on your shoulder,
Yeah.
you don't look rich.
Okay, but I don't look like I'm in shambles like the miners here, right?
You sound like you're in shambles.
No, that might be true.
No.
The guards didn't try to beat you up when they passed by.
So, what are you proposing?
I don't know if we should give more pursuit to tracking or just head back to Lars and hope for a reunion. It's kind of our only head base at the moment.
My thought is, we don't want to track them. If we can find them, we might lead the guards to them.
Okay. Guess it is kind of a cold lead at the moment, anyway.
Sharid, give me a perception check.
Gladly.
So, as you're debating what to do with Teo, your eyes glance over his shoulder, and maybe you're facing more towards the east, and you see passing by not several blocks, but like maybe a block down, some humanoids running across between some of the alleyways, one of which is lets off a glint of black armor.
Oh, they were like running.
Yeah, you think that those might have been guards.
Oh, I mean, okay, Theo. Did you
Hmm.
see that? Did you see the guards running over there?
Oh well,
We need
there's.
to decide right now. Are we are we pursuing or are we going home?
I'm not really sure what direction to pursue in at the moment. So
That way.
you mean with the where the guards went?
Yes.
Okay,
I need to
sure.
know right now. Run or go home.
Let's run.
Run. We run. Yes, we run.
So you book it back west towards the cable car station. Um, and yeah, you pass by a number of homes and abodes of some of the regular workers in the arteries nearby, maybe a couple of shop houses. Ultimately, you exit the alleyways back onto the streetway and overlooking the Warrens. So you maybe have, I don't know, a half a block of space and then cliff. And you can see off to the northwest is the cable car station.
Jump off. Sorry, are there guards nearby that in view?
No, there are not. It seems actually that there are. So, Sharid, when you got off the cable car, you're used to seeing guards kind of around. It looks very bare bones. Maybe one or two guards where there were four or five.
Oh God, I hate to ask this, but how long's the drop?
I want to say it was. I'm going to contradict myself. I want to say it was like 120 feet.
Where did we last see? Hang on, actually,
So the person I saw running ran towards the cliffside. Is what you're saying?
No, you guys ran in the opposite direction. Correct? You guys were
No,
running
we were
away from
running
where.
after running
Oh, you were running after the.
after the guard.
Hey!
Sorry.
Sorry, I misunderstood. Um, so in that case, you guys ran east, and you're passing through alleyways, crossing over, um, kind of main artery streets into more of these alleyways. Um, what's each of your passive perception?
Oh, great question. Great question.
13.
13.
Where is it on the character sheet?
It's 10 plus your perception bonus. I don't think it's listed anywhere.
Oh, 10 plus my wait, third wait. Yeah, 13.
Okay.
13.
Can you do math? Can you do numbers?
Yeah.
All right, I'll say a 13 is enough. Maybe as you guys are running, you can hear as you get closer, uh, kind of heavy metal footsteps more and more as you approach. Maybe you run past an alleyway. Teo, you hear more footsteps coming from down the alleyway. You kind of grab Sharid by the nape of his neck and just turn him down the alleyway. And at this time, you come to an open area that's more heavily just regularly patrolled by guards. Um, it's kind of a clearing at an intersection between alleyways.
Okay.
Um, and you see that they are kind of investigating a small area in between them. Others have continued running off. You still hear those footsteps moving about.
So hold on, I'm having trouble like picturing this. Like,
Oh yeah.
you saw there are guards where?
So imagine kind of an opening where several alleyways, maybe three or four alleyways, kind of come together. Just an open area, and you see a group of maybe five or six guardsmen investigating a something. in this open area. They're kind of gathered around a small space, and you can still hear that there's still a chase going on elsewhere.
Do I see someone in black armor?
You do not.
Can I stop and try to listen for the sound of someone running? Or is it too loud?
You hear it running kind of echoing through these alleyways from all around.
Okay.
So without some kind of indication as to like maybe it's heavier than the rest, you're not sure.
Okay. All right. I didn't know if it was like worth like possible to make a check or if it's just a and you said it's like an intersection of alleyways.
Yeah. So you certainly have places to go. But you just happen to notice these guards investigating something.
Teo,
Mm-hmm.
what do you think we should do? Should we split up? Should we talk to them?
Perhaps
Light more.
we could maybe engage with them because we're not people of interest at the moment, so we shouldn't be concerned with being apprehended so much as just interrogated.
Did you say you were on the roofs earlier?
I was on the what?
The roofs. I don't know why
Yes.
that. What
The
you do?
roofs.
I checked. I checked the
We're
roof.
like Nordic.
They were up on.
The roof.
I wasn't sure if it was guards, but I did see some people on the top as well.
Oh, you saw people on the top. I thought you said earlier you were on the roof.
I was.
The
I was on the
rooftop.
roof.
Oh, okay. All right. So I'm not
So
crazy.
both and. Yes.
Oh, yes. Okay. All right. Good. Okay. Do you want me to go talk to them real quick?
Sure, I'll keep an eye out. I'll watch over you.
Sure. Yeah. So I approach the guards that are investigating.
Tio's gonna hide.
Okay. We'll come back to that, Tia. So Sharid, you approach. One of the guards turns around, holds out his hand, and says, "Stop where you are." What are you doing here?
But my friend, I saw what are the three positions?
The tribunus.
Yeah. I saw one of the tribune here, and I was following him. I lost him. Where did he go? I was with him, and I lost him.
You were with him.
Yes, my friend. We took off in a hurry, and I tripped and fell, and I don't know where he went. We were in pursuit.
Give me a deception check.
Do I have inspiration?
I think you guys do. None of you ever use it.
Okay, I'm going to use it.
Sure. All right. You and your minus. All right. You actually. Not bad. You got a nat 20. A nat 19. The guard looks you up and down and says, "You're not a guard. Why are you working with the commander?"
My friend, don't the appearances are deceiving.
Uh-huh.
I'm undercover.
He looks you up and down and says, "I see.
Yeah.
Undercover, huh?" Gives you a very sarcastic wink.
Hey, do you know where Oliveras is or not?
Yeah. Look, he's chasing a bunch of fugitives, ran out of the commander's glory a little bit ago. And he points you down an alleyway that heads to the south. Now, at this
Okay.
point, you guys are about here-ish.
Sorry, I gotta move my character sheet.
There you go.
Ping it again. Okay. Okay. Wait. Thank you, my friend. And I whistle for Teo.
Okay. Well, you'll just join.
Okay. And yeah, and like I'm just like gesturing as I like start running for you to follow me
Yeah.
at a quickened pace.
Okay.
So we'll do the lizard run, crawling and running.
Nice.
Okay. So, as you follow the path that the guard was pointing you down, you come to a point where you exit out onto the main street. At one end of the block, you see a group of guards essentially standing at the ready, flanking an alleyway. At the other end of the block, you see the same thing. And then a few buildings up, you see this man in black armor, essentially ready to command both groups.
Like command both groups to like converge on an alley or on the street.
That's. It looks like they are converging on an alley from two different points.
Okay. Yeah. Is it possible to to run? Like, would it be awkward and weird if I ran straight up to Oliverius?
Yeah, sure.
Like, how far away are we from Oliverius to?
It's literally just buildings widths. So maybe
Okay.
there are 5 buildings on this block. He's dead center. You guys are maybe at the first building on the left. So there's maybe a single building, if not 2, between you and him.
Um, I throw my hand up to Teo to like stop, and I say,
Stop.
perhaps we should just watch.
It looks like they're trying to converge or flank on a position.
Mm-hmm. And I fear running in now would be foolish.
Yeah, I think our only options would be to involve directly or distract.
I don't want to distract because I don't know what we are distracting them from.
This is true.
We need information, don't forget.
Could involve Vivian.
It could, we don't know. Let's not make assumptions.
I wish we had Ion.
Who?
The bird. In fact, he will search the air briefly.
You do not see the white owl.
So
So
I suggest we just stand and wait.
okay.
Tia will trust Sharid's instinct.
All right. So you guys are there for maybe 5 minutes. They seem to be waiting on something. But you see, after 5 minutes, Oliverius raise his hand, point forward, and you start to see a small group of 2 automatons on either side start to walk down the alleyways. And you see the flanking guardsmen funnel behind them. And Oliverius just stands there waiting.
Seems like they have a target.
Yep. But we don't know what it is yet. I don't know what to do. I think we just. I'm going to ask questions for more information.
Yeah.
So there's an alleyway. They are converging both ends. Where are we in relationship to the point of convergence?
So this is off of a main street. They're going in an alleyway on side A. You are actually looking out of an alleyway on side B, looking at their backs.
Looking at their backs. And Olivarius is on side A?
Correct. He's kind of in the middle of the street, really.
Oh, okay. So they're kind of converging on him, sort of?
No, they're going down the alleyways in front of them. He's essentially standing in a central position that he can look at both groups going down these alleyways.
They're
So
definitely flanking someone.
if you imagine these are the two alleyways, he's here.
Oh. So they're not heading down the same alleyway. They're heading down
No.
separate alleyways.
Correct.
Oh, okay. I see. And we are behind Olivarius?
Correct.
Ah, okay.
I shoot him in the knee.
Teal,
Yeah.
perhaps you should try to outflank the maneuver. Don't engage. Just see what you can see. I'll stay on
Teal,
this end. That way,
one
we know what happens. Either way,
without hesitation, Teo starts moving to rooftop to try and get a view, knowing that every second is going to matter. So he just takes off.
Yeah. Give me a stealth check, Teo.
Stealth. Okay.
That's not bad. With attentions focused elsewhere, maybe you actually go to a building on the other side of the alleyway that they just went down. You start to crawl up the opposite side, landing on the rooftops. You do see a person on a building in the block that's surrounded by those alleyways that they just went down, and they seem to be looking at a section of the alleyway that's in the back side of that building.
One person?
You only see one.
Any discernible details, or is this like a silhouette?
You can see it more. It's a person in leather armor, sleek leather armor, no real frills, no nothing, tinted red, and you can see a patch on their shoulder bearing the symbol of the city, that large warhammer and shield.
Why would they? Okay. And can I see Sharid from where I'm at? Like, could we meet eyes?
Not after you climbed the building.
Gotcha. Okay. And it looks like they're looking outside of the building. And they're like 2 stories up ish.
Yeah, ish.
And judging by their body language, are they like in a panic, getting ready to fight?
It looks like they are simply observing what's happened.
Just observe.
And you can see that they have something in their hand that they are writing on.
But they're in a confident stature. They're not.
Correct.
Doesn't seem either they don't know or they're not the target. Where are the guards visible from any windows I can see?
I mean, if you look straight down into the alleyway next to you,
Yep.
or I suppose technically on the other side of the building, you would see the guards. The alleyways of the guards have gone down.
Gotcha. I'm just gonna grab a random piece of debris, like a rock, piece of glass, and just chuck it at the window that this silhouette's at. That what I'm trying to do is lure the silhouette to be able to see the guards. Does that make sense? I'm trying to give away the guard's position.
Oh, you're trying to give away the guard's position.
To the silhouette. Yeah.
No, so that guard that's up there with you, not with you, but up
Right,
there
right.
is a differently dressed guard.
They're just another guard, but okay.
It looks
Why?
like instead of just walking the streets, this one travels the rooftops.
But the other guards are converging on this point.
Yes. Your best guess is that whatever they're after is at this convergence point. This one on the roof might have been a scout hoping to track whatever they were chasing.
Oh, they're on the rooftop.
Yes.
Okay. So they've got to be in the building then. Oh man. He's really torn between running back to Sharid or knowing that any moment could matter, and he's really debating just jumping over into the building. Is there a window that's visible that he could crash into?
You can. Yes, it would make noise.
Yeah. That's actually what his intention would be. Shit. He knows he's not really the target. Oh no, I don't know what Teo would do.
So as you're contemplating this, on the periphery of your hearing, where that convergence point is on the backside of that building, you start to hear loud knocking noises. It's like something crashing against wood.
Something secured. And what level did that seem to come from?
Street level.
Street level. Shoot. Okay. Okay. I I have one idea. This is
Do it.
complete gamble.
I love ideas.
Teo's gonna look at like the most tailing end guard. You know, like when you're assessing a herd and you're trying to find one that's just off from the herd.
Pick off the weakest.
He's trying. What he's trying to do is find a guard that fits that target, and what he wants to do is aim an arrow at it to really just get a reaction from them. Is there a guard that might fit that position, like an opposing flank?
I mean, he's not necessarily on his own, but you do see a guard as they've kind of piled into the flanking alleyways.
Mm-hmm.
You do see one at the back that you could fire an arrow at.
He realizes an arrow would give away his position. Are there any bricks?
You might be able to pull a slate off of the roof.
He's gonna grab a brick and chuck it at the guard.
All right.
At the very least, it's a distraction.
Yeah. Roll me a d20 plus your dex modifier.
Oh boy. This is either a brilliant idea or a horribly stupid idea. I'm not sure. Well, that's okay.
Okay.
If it doesn't hit him, that's okay. And you'll immediately go back to hiding and just listen.
All right.
Secret messages.
Only I could type faster. So you throw that brick. It crashes actually against the wall of the alleyway. It does draw the attention of that one guard.
Damn it.
But even despite that, the guard sees the brick and looks up in your general direction at the building that you threw it from. He doesn't see
Mm-hmm.
you,
Mm-hmm.
but his attention is up in your direction.
Still hiding, just listening.
All right. Eventually, he does turn back around, and that knocking continues.
It may not even be well. All right, I'm gonna go for a stealth jump to a window.
Okay. Give me a stealth check.
I'm not trying to crash through. I'm trying to land next to it to open it.
Okay.
Oh,
Nice. So you jump, you bury your claws to try and catch yourself on the brick. Your claws don't dig in deep enough, and you end up sliding down like a half level between the windows.
mm-hmm.
And normally that would be fine, except you can hear your claws just scraping against the brick. As that same guard you threw the brick at turns around and says, "Oi, what are you doing here?"
I'm like 2 stories above them, right?
Oh yeah, like a story and a half, yeah.
I'm just gonna ignore them and try and open the window.
Okay. You do manage the window's not locked. You do manage to pop it open, and you hear the guard kind of nudge the one next to him and says, "Hey, hey." And you can hear the two of them kind of break off and look for an entrance into the building.
I was trying to get into the same building they were converging on. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Then I'll enter. Yep.
Okay. This seems to be at the floor that you came in on. It seems to be a residence. You crawl into what seems to be a simple child's room, a small bed, nightstand, maybe a chest at the end of the bed,
Mm-hmm.
and a wooden door, currently closed.
Teo's gonna have his spear ready and just silently open the door. Stealthy as he can.
Okay. Nobody else seems to be home. It seems that this family either was asked to leave or otherwise just has not come home yet this evening.
Okay.
You see that there's a hallway, another door at one end, and what seems to be a staircase at the other.
Gotcha. Are the floors made of wood?
Yes.
Floorboards?
Mhm.
How strong are they?
In this in this part of town, they're decently strong, like your average wooden floor.
Like, how hard would it be to like punch into a floorboard, pop it up?
It would take a little bit of doing. It would still take a couple minutes. Just because you're essentially prying up semi-fresh nails and the full board. There doesn't seem to be any wood rot.
Teo will carry out like a search, just kind of searching the area for anyone who might be in the area and track to see who might be in this building. All while imagining Sharid having a private date with Olivia Arias.
So as you search about the house, you maybe stand at the top of the stairs, and it looks to be that a very small, like mom and poppy style restaurant is actually down below. It's almost as if they live like above the restaurant.
Gotcha. It's a restaurant. Converged on it. Teo's trying to remember if Vivian mentioned knowing anyone who ran a restaurant, but I don't think she mentioned anything that fit that description that I can recall. He'll go to the stairs, but he's curious if there's any voices. Like, are they at the stairwell?
No.
Okay, so the
It's actually
targets.
oddly quiet in this building considering what's happening around it.
So they're probably either on the first floor or they're not even here. Teo's gonna go start descending the stairs very as silently as he can.
Okay. Considering the lack of presence, you're fine sneaking about the place. You come downstairs, see a small open area, a number of tables and chairs, and a small bar with a door at the back of it. You can hear some of the thudding of that wood crashing, and it's faintly coming from behind that door.
Sorry, just to confirm, I can tell the door they're trying to crash through.
It's not that exact door. You seem like it's on that end of the house beyond that door.
Oh, okay, so there's another room before getting to where
Yes.
they're coming. Okay. But there's no one here? Can I do a quick assessment of the area to see if like any chairs turned over or
Sure.
turnstiles flipped up to try and guess where people may have gone?
Sure. Give me an investigation check. Okay. Your best guess is that there are some bowls, somewhat still warm, on some of the tables. The inhabitants were either removed or told to leave in a hurry.
Obviously not by the guards since they're here and can't get in.
Possibly. There is an exit at essentially at street level behind you.
Well,
So essentially,
Teo-
you're at ground level.
Right. Well, Teo doesn't think the guards told them to leave and lock themselves out. So he's assuming someone else might have done that, or the guards are complete morons. Teo's debating between letting the guards in and rolling with them to try and get on their good side, or just leaving. Because I don't think there's any other trails at the moment.
There's one room you haven't checked.
The one.
Every restaurant needs a kitchen.
This is true. But that is separate from the rooms separating from where the guards are coming in, correct?
Your best guess is that behind that door is the kitchen. But it doesn't seem like that is the...
So they're trying to break into the kitchen.
Possibly. It's in the same direction.
Okay. I'll peek into that room.
Okay. You enter a pretty standard kitchen. The stone walls of the exterior of the house line the outside. The banging is certainly closer, but it now sounds like it's a little bit below you. There doesn't seem to be a wooden door at the back of this room, but as you follow the beating of the wood, you realize there might be a trap door to maybe a wine cellar or something at the back of this kitchen.
Okay, and what's the locking mechanism on the door look like?
It's very simple, just essentially a bar latch.
Bar and a latch. That's all that's holding them.
Well, yeah.
Okay. So there's a cellar that whoever was here most likely went in, and the guards are being held back by a latch. So Oh boy. Teo will. Oh, okay. Are there any heavy appliances next to the door?
There's maybe some crates that you could move. You could probably find an iron pot stove that's nearby.
God, that'll take too long. It'll be too much. Teo's gonna grab his bone dagger and just jam it like a door jam at the bottom, just like pinning it into the ground as a jam, and then go to the
Okay.
cellar.
Okay. So as you pin the dagger into the door, you
Like
hear the crash of
into the floor.
into the floor.
To
Gotcha.
pin it,
So you
yeah.
can't open it yet. Got it.
Yeah.
Um, as you do that, almost at that exact moment, you hear the crash of wood, but it doesn't seem like they came through the trap door. It seems like there might have been a door at that cellar level.
Mm-hmm.
And amongst the heavy sound of metal footsteps, you hear what sounds to be what you hear what seems to be the brief sounds of combat, and over the course of maybe just a few seconds, it goes quiet, and all you hear are those heavy footsteps.
And that was below me or in the room before?
Below you.
And that cellar door, the locking mechanism on it? Is it just a handle?
You could open it if you wish.
What kind of heating does the stove in this building use?
Seems to be some kind of coal.
It's coal. And what's the building made out of?
Mostly stone with a wooden floor.
Stone with a wooden floor.
Yeah.
Does it have tinder and kindling?
I mean, yeah, they need to start the stove somehow.
This is a desperate ploy. Teo's gonna light the kindling on fire and start booking it upstairs.
Okay. So you light the kindling, you rip up your bone dagger from the door that you came through.
Oh, I think you would have left that.
You would have left it?
It's just an indiscernible bone, so yeah.
Gotcha. Maybe you wiggle it enough to be able to open that door again.
Oh, I came through this door is what you're saying. Okay.
Yeah.
Never mind. Yeah.
And you shuffle your way upstairs. You start to smell the faint smell of smoke coming from the floor below. Do you just go all the way back out to the window that you came in?
Basically, I'm booking it back at this point, is what I'm,
Okay. So, as you exit out into the restaurant side, you see the guard you threw the brick at, as well as one other guard, have just come through the front door. And you hear them say, "Stop. What are you doing here?"
Did you not see them? Quick, get them.
Give me a deception.
Oh boy, this is gonna be a
You didn't
bad
see
roll.
them?
I can feel it.
Oh,
my God.
yeah. Love it. Okay. They aren't even fazed by what you said, and they start to approach you.
Oh, so many choices flash before Teo's eyes. Are they approaching with like an interrogative stance or a hostile stance?
They don't want to hug you.
Let me rephrase
but
that.
they're approaching like, come quietly, and there won't be any problems. We just got
There's
a
no
few
weapons
questions
in
to
their
ask.
hands. Okay.
Not yet.
What's happening here? I got panicked because I thought my friends were in here.
What are you?
Which is true.
They look at you and they say, "What do your friends look like?" Maybe we
Well,
can help you find them.
Teo will do his best to describe the most generic and ambiguous poor person.
Okay.
They looked like they had clothing with some dirt, no logos or brands.
She's tall and hair.
They have
They
a
just look at you
height
and a weight.
and a weight.
They look at you. All right, buddy. Come on. You
I'm
you just
sorry.
come with us.
I'm just panicking. I
It's
think I
okay.
even threw a brick or something. I don't know.
Huh. Uh, they they're gesturing to you to come with them. Do you?
I suppose because it doesn't look like they're apprehending me, right? It's more escorting.
I mean, right now it's escorting.
Teo's gonna do one of those things where he like goes to follow them, but as soon as they start going in that direction, he immediately
God.
books it to go upstairs.
Love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. So they turn to start escorting you as you take a few steps closer. And then they just start hearing the clangs of pots and pans running up the stairs. And from behind you, you hear one more time the sound of a horn. Coming from where you just ran from. It's maybe not that deep and probably not that long, but
Right.
That's what she said.
that's unfortunate. But you then start to hear footsteps running behind you.
Wait, they enjoyed giving chase. The building's on fire. Teo's going to run up to the stairs and seeing that is there like a hallway that's up there?
Yeah.
And there's multiple rooms?
There's only 2 rooms. The one
Two
you came
rooms?
in and the one at the end of the hallway.
He's going to absolutely smash and kick the one door and then silently go into the other door.
Okay. Yeah, so you just start wailing on this thing, maybe scratch it up a little bit. And then
Just
you
one
double
good
back,
kick. And yeah, I'm back. Yeah.
back to the child's room that you initially crawled into. As the guards reach the top of the stairs, you can hear their footsteps creaking on the wood. And you're able to make out a not-so-hush whisper. You check the one at the end of the hallway. What do you do while in the kids' room? Do you just
Well, this
hop
is
out
the
the
one that
window,
had.
or?
Yeah, this is the one with the window, right? So, what he'll do is he'll collect up the blankets of that. I think it's a bed in that room,
There is a bed, yes.
and he'll like stuff them quickly along the edge of the bed, and then go out the window,
On the edge of the bed or on the edge of the door?
like on the underneath, to make it look like he hid underneath.
Gotcha. Okay. Okay. And how are you exiting this window? Are you just crawling out, or are you?
He'll do a quick check to make sure he's not just opening the window to guards.
Because there were guards when you came in.
In the building. Oh, well, yeah, on the street, but are they
Yeah.
watching the window?
You can hear footsteps. There seem to be guards running past, but they don't seem to be looking directly at the window.
Yeah, so
Like a small contingent has broken off to come join the guards that are chasing you.
well, it's just 2. And they're giving chase to someone else as well. So, I mean, he's going to try and stealth his way back.
All right, give me a stealth check. Another 1. Oh, that was so close to another 1. All right. So you manage to open up the window and start crawling back. And as you look down at the alley level and you see guards running opposite of you. None of them bother to look up. You're starting to see some smoke come out of the windows on the first floor,
Yep.
but it's not a raging inferno yet. Where are you wanting to go? Just crawl down to street level? Are you going to try and
No, I want to
crawl up to the
stealth
roof?
back the way I came.
Well, because you hopped from a building across the alleyway.
Yep.
Okay. Just because I can see this going so fun. Give me an acrobatics check of you for you hopping
Sure.
across an alley.
Well, it's an 8.
Hang on. You try and measure yourself. You're like, okay, if I just hop and I just bear claws, I can just get over there and climb my way back up. You push off of the building as you release the wall. You feel your 1 foot slip
Mm-hmm.
as you start to fly across this alleyway, but not with nearly as much momentum as you thought. You drop down maybe a floor. So you're at like the top section of the first floor. And just like when you landed your previous jump, you just scrape it along the wall.
Okay.
And you do manage to cling to the wall, but a number of guards passing by do notice you. And it's like one guard notices you.
One guard notices me.
One guard notices you.
Well, the description's already given. One. Uh. Tia's gonna drop an empty alcohol bottle and just keep going.
All right. Cool. So you crawl your way back up to the top of the roof of the building that you were on. So Sharid, at the street level that you're at, as Teo is escaping, you see a number of guards kind of funneling out of the alleyway. At this point, maybe you start seeing some of this smoke from this fire that Teo set. You see a handful of guards actually go into the building where this fire is being set. Another seems to be carrying out a number of bodies. So between 2 guards and one of the automatons, you see 3 adult bodies and 1 child.
Can I? Do the bodies look familiar?
You see a male in scholarly robes and blonde hair. You see a woman, tall, lanky, pale. Well, no, actually, she's not pale because of that disguise kit. With long white hair and a veil. You see another humanoid that's wearing a cloak. You can't really make out too much except for maybe the point end of a horn popping out of the top of its head. And a young child, a boy, bushy red hair. The first 2 are definitely Kairos and Vivian.
Okay.
All right.
Just sip my tea.
I'll just sit here and watch this happen.
Yeah, just watch it happen.
Okay. At this point, you've also heard the second war horn get blown from within the building that people are running into. And Teo, as you scramble to the roof of the building, what direction are you heading?
Yeah, so he wouldn't be able to see these people taking anyone out, right? Not in his
Nah.
view.
No, not necessarily.
Uh, prisoner in a building in a city, now being chased by guards. We hoped to try and get their attention from. Teo's feeling a little hopeless, but will stealth his way back to Sharid, at least get a vantage point first to see what might be happening there.
Okay. Give me one last stealth check. Okay, that's not bad. You scurry your way across the rooftop, and you maybe just essentially go up and over the building. So you cling to the wall on the opposite side of this building, and you wait there just a few minutes just to see if anybody else passes by. And you maybe see a guard or two, but they don't notice you up there.
Okay.
After a little bit of time, you crawl back down, you look around the corner, and see at this point the pursuit is not worried about you as much. You can see the tail end of a group of people being taken away, a group of bodies being taken away, but they're moving away from you. You don't see any of the features other than maybe their clothes, and even then,
Right.
it's hard to tell. You do notice thin black material and a somewhat familiar scholarly robe. But as you see that, you make a quick dash across the street into one of the other alleyways, and you loop back to where you left Sharid
Yeah.
to find that he is not in the same position. As you poke your head out of the alleyway, you see him a little further down the street, just watching, waiting.
Not in the company of anyone?
No, he seems to be out of the way.
Would I happen to make eye contact with him? Can we leave it to a roll since he's stealthy?
Yeah, give me a perception check.
All right.
You do notice him.
I notice him.
You
Do we
notice
happen
him.
to make eye contact?
I mean, I would probably be trying to.
Okay, so
what it's
like,
worth.
is
So he definitely is trying to make eye contact with you. Do you
Okay.
want to make that eye contact?
briefly just to see that he sees me,
Mhm.
and the moment we make eye contact, I get up. I just slowly walk away in the opposite direction, leaving the area.
Okay.
Teo takes that as a sign to follow, but trail.
Okay. So at this time, the sun has set behind the walls of this city. um, Maybe after a little bit of weaving about the alleyways, you two converge in a place bereft of guards. Now under a pretty much a night sky, you two find each other after what just transpired.
Teal, glad you made it out. What did you see?
Well, it seemed like the guards were converging with heavy force upon some valuable targets that were related to a restaurant. It looked like it might have been taken by surprise. I'm not sure. But they were in the cellar. I know that there was a very short exchange between that heavily armored individual that we saw briefly run by. And then I know that they took some people out, but I wasn't able to get a good eye on them. And at that point, I was really risking further engagement, so I couldn't confirm. I'm hoping that you saw some more.
Were you seen?
I think one guard No, at least 3 guards saw me. They would be able to eye me.
Okay. That complicates things a little bit.
It does.
Well, I was not as engaged as you, but I was able to confirm. Unfortunately, they do have our friends.
Then I regret not hurting any of them.
No, 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 no. It was not the time. But at least now that we have the information we lacked.
What happened to them?
And where, yes, and where they are going.
Did you see anything with... I'm trying to remember if Teo knows Olivier's name. I think he does. Right?
I think you all got the general information about the
Yeah.
tribunals.
Right, okay. Did you get anything from Oliverius, who I know is watching over the area?
No, not much.
Can I insight Sharid on that?
Sure.
Do you want me to make a roll to contest, like to set the DC?
Sure. Give just flat charisma check. Okay. Teo, are you just trying to see if he's lying or hiding something?
Yeah, he won't push at all. He just wants to try and discern if Sharid is being reserved.
Not particularly. No. He seems a little, I mean, just taken aback by the situation, but not necessarily trying to deceive you.
Huh. Teo is kind of caught in analysis paralysis at the moment.
I've never
No,
heard
it's
that. I like that.
So Sharid, when you saw them take those bodies away, the bodies of your friends, and whoever the hell they were with, they seemed to not be heading in the direction of the Commander's Glory. They actually seemed to be heading towards the cable car station.
Okay. I think we should pursue enough just to see which car they leave.
Okay. I'm going to have to make a few changes along our way there.
Do you think best, perhaps maybe I'd go alone?
I could trail behind, give follow.
Not too close. I don't want the appearance that we are together.
Nope.
Okay. So as you slink about the alleyways, you come back out. You maybe stay on the edge of the alley before the clearing to the cable car station. And while you normally ride the rail south, or technically west, to the Warrens, your eye is drawn to the number of other lines coming from this central cable car station. One to the mall, one actually goes to the southernmost area of the lower stratum,
Mhm.
and then one goes up to the mantle.
Ah,
It
crap.
actually seems to only be the one line going up to the mantle.
There
And
is
as you
something
see-
Teo wants to do before we push further, by the way.
Sure.
Before separating from Sharid, Teo's like, wait, I need to ask you to do something, Sharid. This is not going to be an easy request. As he flips over a dagger, I need you to cut my face. Make it a real good one.
Oh my god.
Because if anyone asks for identifiable marks, it'll really stand out at least. remember?
Okay, so you hand me the dagger,
Yep.
and as soon as I take the dagger, with my other hand, I cock you with my fist.
I need a scar.
Perhaps it'll just swell up enough. But let's be honest. You're a lizard.
I could still stand. I could still disguise.
I can still do it. I can still do it.
It's gonna take more than a scar on your face, my friend.
Oh no.
Have I seen a single lizard folk other than myself while being here? Even one?
It's a roughin'. Actually, you've seen two. Just passing, but you've seen two in this entire place.
Okay. Okay, I'll go back to following. Think about it.
There.
rubbing the
You're-
wound.
At least you don't have a scar. Yeah, you just ran.
Yeah, it's just a scar on his dignity. So as you eye the cable car station, you do see Olivarius, two knights, and two automatons board a cable car with your friends heading to the mantle.
Okay. So after that, and some time passes, Sharid will go to approach Teo again and say, "My friend,
Mm-hmm.
it looks like they have headed up that way.
Towards the mantle.
I do not think it wise to follow. We need a plan.
We have our friends, though.
Oh, I intend to pursue, but not right now.
Uh,
We need help.
do you know that
Perhaps-
they're at least alive?
No. But why would they carry them up there if they were dead?
Yeah.
I'm
Okay.
suggesting we go find Garth and Roland. Perhaps they may help.
Okay. Okay. Teo's going to take the fishing reel off of his spear, just tear it off. He's going to go through like a commando little like montage of ridding his cooking utensils and turning back to more hunting gear.
Okay. Do you have any kind of like satchel or haversack, like anything, a backpack?
Just a backpack, yeah.
Okay. So maybe you just kind of shove all of like the things that would normally jingle on the outside inside your backpack. All right. And with that, we're actually going to stop.
Okay.
I like where this is going, though.
Yeah. So we have Sharid and Teo ready to head back down to the Warrens to find Garth and Roland. Maybe seek out a little bit of help. And Kairos and Vivian hauled off to the mantle. What'll happen to them? I don't know. Gotta find out later.
Oh boy.
And the other question is, who are the other two people that were with them?
No idea.
So, we'll find out.
I like where
maybe.
this is going.
We'll find out maybe next week. So thanks, folks, for watching. Keep an eye out on Twitter and join the Discord server if you want announcements of when we're doing this or not doing this. And until then, we'll see you next week. Bye-bye now. Bye-bye.
Bye.